So one of the plans for my Instagram was to try to keep up a weekly blog of my adventures as a teacher, but also just kind of some life stuff that I've been working on or going through, or things that I might find useful for other people, who knows. So anyways, I'll try to keep it pretty short. Something that I've really been focusing on as a teacher and as someone myself is a buzzword called mindfulness. So every day when my kiddos come in, it is expected that they start on a mindfulness activity, and after the class is over, we also do one in the afternoon. Right now I'm working with these little mindfulness cards, which come out of a set called Mindful Kids. And I just put the card up. It's got all of these instructions on the back, and I have the kids, if they're old enough, read through the instructions and do it on their own. Otherwise, I have them try to do kind of what's on the picture here. I'll just give them a short description, and then they have to do it on their own when they come into the class. And then we do generally another activity at the end of the day that we kind of go through as a class. So this one being mind bubbles, where we take our bubble wand and we dip our wand and we blow a bubble with a really nice breath, and then we watch our worries kind of fade away and pop. So that's been a really big topic for me as an educational level. I think it's really important to teach our kids these tools, and then by the end of the rotation, my goal for them is that which my rotations are 5-day rotations, but they are able to do it on their own without the instructions, and we're really building this mindful toolkit for our students, which I think is just so important to think about in this day and age, especially when we have a lot of this social media, and it's great, but we need other ways for kids to build those social and emotional skills, since they aren't getting as much face-to-face time with other students, which is just how it is. So anyways, mindfulness in the classroom is very important, and I think we need to be leaders in teaching our kids, especially as a music teacher. I think it's important because we see every single kid that comes through, and it's kind of our job to keep the school-wide feeling versus just touching one class. We get an opportunity to reach every student in the school, and I think that's just so important that we instill these core beliefs into our classroom so that the whole school can experience them in the same way, in the same instruction. So mindfulness on our own can show in many different ways. A lot of times I try to keep a journal, which I've been slacking on, so I'm going to try to get back into that, especially as the stresses in my life come back up with the beginning of the year. But a lot of times it's just taking a moment here and there, breathe, make sure that you're doing okay, check in on your own emotions. How am I feeling? What can I do about it? Build your own toolkit. We are the models for our students, and I think it's just so important that we practice what we teach, and I think any teacher would feel the same way. But practicing mindfulness on our own, whether you're a teacher or not, is important. It's something that we weren't taught to do when we were kids, at least in my generation at least. So I think it's really important that we kind of change that attitude, really get right on into it and try something new. So my challenge for everybody would be, when you wake up in the morning, take 3 breaths. One where you're focusing on the feeling of the air coming through your nose, one where you're focusing on your rib cage expanding, and one where you're focusing on that belly getting nice and round. Taking 3 breaths can change your whole day. It's a buzzword, but it's important. And thank you for giving me an opportunity to share what I believe with you. And cheers.